Namaste and a very warm welcome to another impactful episode of Impact Leaders with Simply Suparna, where we focus on the journeys of SABERA awardees. Today, I have a very special personality who I'm really itching to introduce to you because of the multifarious activities that he's involved with, all from a philanthropic perspective. But before I bring him, this very inspiring personality, to your digital screens, I'd like to start by invoking the higher power. As you all know, Shakti has held me in good stead, and I'd like to start by reciting the very old Sanskrit Saraswati Vandana. Ya Kundindu Tusharhar Dhavala, Ya Shubhra Vastravrita, Ya Veena Varadanda Manditakara, Ya Shweta Padamasana, Ya Brahmachitta Shankar Prabhutibhi, Devai Sada Vandita, Samam Patu Saraswati, Bhagavati Nishesh Jadyapaha. Like I said, a very old Sanskrit stotra that talks about dispelling the darkness that resides in our hearts with the wisdom of knowledge. And now, without much further ado, let me bring on to your screens Mr. Rajiv Mehta, trustee of the Ratna Nidhi Charitable Trust, an organization that has touched the lives of millions through its work in disability, in health, hunger, education, you name it, and they're there. Under Mr. Mehta's leadership, the trust was awarded specifically for the world's first 3D printed prosthetic leg. This was done in collaboration with IIT Mumbai and Google.org, a breakthrough that makes artificial limbs more affordable, accurate, and accessible, even in remote areas. And Rajiv ji has a very interesting anecdote with prosthetic legs and Ladakh, which he will share with us. And that's not it. There is so much to converse about. There's Mission Million books, a large-scale mobility camp. Then there are vision camps. There is hunger relief programs. Thank you so much, Rajiv ji, for the work that you're doing, and thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
So first things first, let's start with you are a diamond merchant. At least that's what your family business has been, as hardcore of a business person as it can be. How did the whole idea of a charitable trust come about? What have been your influences while growing up?
In a family, the whole trust idea came to my grandmother when she devoted her life saving to set up a school in our native place in Palanpur in Banaskata. So that was in our DNA, in our blood from those days onward. He and my father set up a trust in 1967, which is Ratnaniti Trust. My father started activities of the trust when he was age of 60. He retired from business, and with my mother, they started the activities. So and we a joint family, during breakfast, during lunch, during dinner, post-dinner conversation in the living room, along with business and money, trust, activities, empathy, the change that one is able to make, which is little difference, we think is so much bigger difference lives of those who cannot have the life what we are having now. That was part of our culture, family discussion right from school onwards till we become adult. So then you develop something called empathy in your heart, that connects you to these causes in a very different manner. So when the opportunity comes, you always take a step extra forward to make something which you are very happy about it. That's the context in which how the trust started.
So your father obviously dedicated his large part of his life in the business, and then later on he established this trust
Yes.
along with
My mother.
your grandmother. Actually, sorry, your grandfather and your grandmother. But you are somebody who has been exposed to this from childhood. जिसको बोलते हैं आपके संस्कार इसी तरीके से बने बचपन से
बिल्कुल
कि बिजनेस
बिल्कुल
की बात ही नहीं केवल, लेकिन जब हम सब टेबल के आसपास बैठकर खाना खा रहे हैं तो उस समय जो ट्रस्ट में हुआ, किस बच्चे का भला हुआ, किस फैमिली को हमने एस्टैब्लिश किया, ये सारी चीजें आप सुनते 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 बड़े हुए. तो it wasn't really a very big shift for you when you had to also take on the responsibility of the trust. Is that what you're saying?
Not a big shift, it was there in the mind, but commitment of time is a shift which we have to take a personal call. Doing good, yes, are you willing to spend time is a personal call, but it comes. If I have seen my grandmother working, I have seen my son working, I see my father working. Obviously, we follow their footsteps, and that is our sanskar. That's how we started.
Correct. Correct. But but I think with you joining the trust, you also brought on this whole flavor of technology, so to speak. अगर हम prosthetic legs जिसकी 3D printing, I mean that's amazing. While technology has been developed, but imagine using that to create accurate prosthetic legs and in a much cheaper fashion. Is that what I'm understanding from our conversation? So how did that come about? And this whole collaboration with Google, with IIT Mumbai, etc.
See, I was basically a science student, always, and science was my passion. So you always learn to ask various questions: why, when, what is a part of our daily thought process. There was an opportunity in Google Foundation website, google.org. If you come up with a revolutionary idea in the field of disabilities, please submit. If we like, we will discuss with you to award you. 1,000 entries came in from 50 countries.
Wow.
Nine were finalized, selected, and one of them was ours.
Wow.
And then they had a lot of discussion with me over 6 months, detailing what exactly you think, what and how it will be made possible. The team came to Bombay to meet me. Then I realized, okay, we are on something good, and my idea has found favor in their thought process. Yes, it is possible. Then
So by
I
that
talked
time
to
you had
IIT.
already started to engage with IIT Bombay as to कि ये possible हो भी सकता है कि नहीं.
Yes, once Google sent me a detailed answers and questions, ये करो ऐसे हो सकता है कि नहीं, I realized that I am onto something. Till then, it's an application. Then I
Correct.
realized that then I must have a technical backup also to convert a vision and idea into reality. Then I
Correct.
connected with IIT. I asked them to see what we are doing. I invited them to see my factory. They came one day morning in my factory. They spent half a day. Then they told me, the head of innovation, "Okay, Rajiv, this is the real temple. This is where India should spend money in hospitals and schools and such units where you are creating a difference." And that connected. That visit connected me with him on a personal level. Then I told him, "Sir, I'm about to get a Google award. I need you with me to make it happen." And he said yes. Then I took Google team to IIT. About 10:30 in the night, we took them to IIT. Then the discussion started, and they understood together the difference is possible, and they gave the award later on, couple of months down the line.
But tell me, how is this different from the traditional prosthetic leg? How and how many people are still, or are you the only manufacturer in India yet?
See, in this leg, which is we have called it a Ratna leg, allows the human motion in a very different way. When we walk, can walk only in x-axis. Our leg moves only in x-axis, our knee joint. For a above knee patient, the leg what we are making today allows that patient to move his leg in X, Y, Z axis. So he brings his ankle joint to nose, wear socks, wear shoes, tie shoelaces, sit cross legs on the chair, goes to ground, sits cross legs, and can do Padmasana. So it's
Wow.
a design thinking, human centric design. The product is allows the person to move better than a human being. It is made also in a very unique manner. We take 23 measurements of the thigh of a person. These 23 measures are put into algorithm in the computer. Algorithm converts the 23 measurement into a 3D model of the leg. It is cut on a CNC machine and then put in the furnace, and out comes the leg. Now, this changes the way we conduct ourselves. It's automated manufacturing, structured design with a movement which is 360 degrees, mass scale production possible. More than 1,100 people are walking today in India with these legs. They are able to pedal cycles, which requires regular pedaling, bicycles, motorbikes, trucks, tempos, travelers, car, motorbikes, and one of the guys traveling tractor also in Gujarat. Now their lives are changing with this kind of technology, which otherwise was not possible.
But tell me, this would be more expensive than a traditional prosthetic leg, isn't it?
There are two types of prosthetic legs. One with a hydraulic joint, which German companies are manufacturing. Secondly, traditionally Jaipur foot, which is does not have this kind of facility. For India, so far we are manufacturing Jaipur foot. We continue to do. For those people who have above knee amputation fit certain standards, we make this Ratnani leg, which is a Google Award winner. It is expensive than traditional Jaipur foot, but at 15% or 10% price compared to the other imported legs.
Got it. Got
That
it.
is where the difference lies. And
Got
they
it.
also cannot give this 360 degrees movement which Ratna the leg is giving.
Got it. Got it. So I'm surprised till then. This should ideally be the go-to, right? I think I would imagine that some leg, an artificial limb that can give you as close to a feel as a natural human body should be the actual go-to in case of an unfortunate incidence of an amputation. So has this been accepted well, and where all has this gone?
No, no, it has been accepted very well. We are getting patients every day in my center. Every day are fitting these legs to them. It has traveled, the leg has traveled across length and breadth of Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Madhya Pradesh. Everywhere the leg has traveled because people come to us and do this mobility camps. All these states we are doing every year. So whichever patients are eligible, and we fit them these legs absolutely free of cost, and they are very happy. We get feedback from them from the field. I am driving my tractor back again. I am driving my cycle back again and going to my school or college. That's the real difference.
And you also mentioned a very interesting anecdote with the prosthetic legs in Ladakh. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have been traveling to Ladakh over the past 10 years, 4 to 5 times I have traveled. We stay in a Buddhist monastery, not in hotels. We get disabled people from Kargil, Zankar, Pangong, Nubra into Leh in monastery, and we feed them prosthetics. They go back to their different native places. From Leh, we come back to Bombay. Now, staying in Ladakh, in Himalayas, in Buddhist monastery, surrounded by Buddhist monks who are working with you to make this camp happen, is a different atmosphere. The energy of Himalayas you absorb, you imbibe, you bring that back to Bombay, and it becomes your adrenaline to push you more and more. And then you go back to Ladakh again. It's a bliss. It's a challenge to go to work. Language is different, to travel to these places, get the
And to
patient.
carry the equipment.
Yeah, we have to carry truckload of prosthetics or shipped by us in advance to Leh. Then we fly down to Leh. They come into monastery. Monastery gets a patient from across Ladakh. We sit there for 5 10 days, fit the prosthetics, each custom made prosthetic because no one leg can fit another. Every person, height, body, weight, shape, diameter, shape of the stump, the contours are all different. Everything
Correct.
custom made. But that is
Correct.
a challenge. But when you overcome challenge, you feel very happy. Yes, you are able to go to Ladakh, make a difference. It's a different world. Himalayas is a
You
different
become
world.
completely fulfilled to do much more work. I mean, the kind of work that you're doing, I just can't, get over. Mission Million Books is another very interesting and unique concept that you came up with, and all of these with collaborations from the best internationally. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that.
So I was a passionate reader right from school days. Not born into sports. All my time was spent in reading only. And that passion as a journey of life went became my purpose. I was fortunate to have thousands of books at my disposal to read and had a library in my home. But there are millions who don't have access to one book. So can we do something to make ensure every child in India has a book to read? And then we started the project Mission Million Books. When I discussed with the World Bank and my father discussed with World Bank said, yes, we'll support you. So World Bank ships to us a container of books, 40 feet container every year. Indian community in USA, Indian community UK also ships to me container of books every year. We sort the books subject, grade, category wise, and set up libraries across India by donating books absolutely free of cost. From Nagaland, Meghalaya, Sikkim to Ladakh and Kupwara in Kashmir and Leh to Gadchiroli and Nandurbar in Maharashtra to Chhattisgarh and Orissa and Bangalore and Gujarat and MP. Name the state, our library is there. Existing school or college libraries, we have donated thousands and lakhs of books.
And you
1.3
know
million books donated.
what is interesting about your journey, Rajiv ji, is the fact that while you have these international collaborators, while you're also working with technology, but when you're faced with a roadblock? Say, for example, in terms of content, while World Bank is giving you books, which are popular internationally, maybe in English, but when it comes down to content from the country, you
Yeah.
started creating your own books.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So when we meet school teachers and principals, librarians, they tell us, "Okay, Rajiv, you have given us very high quality books on science, subjects, mathematics, yes, but we want books in Marathi language, Gujarati language, Indian language of Indian heroes, not Donald Duck, not Mickey Mouse, Indian heroes." So we started and then we went to market to buy. We saw Amazon. We were not happy with our way we are thinking. So we started our own publishing division. High quality book, very good quality paper, full color. Every single square inch of the book is full color because I don't want to sell. I have no thoughts of economics on that structure. We started collection of Indian women in science. Tessie Thomas, Missile Woman of India. Aarti Sarin, first white admiral of India, Indian scientist, Meghna Shah, Jagdish Chandra Bose, Vikram Sarabhai, Homi Bhabha. We partnered with Military Academy QN Timai in Pune, Khadki. They gave us stories of real military battles of India, real heroes who I have got a Shaurya Chakra, Veer Chakra, Mahavir Chakra, who fought for our country. So we are writing stories on that with their picture, their real life, so that our children can respect uniform. Why Indian women in science? Because science is a career option. Millions of young girls can also think of that. It just opens up their mind. We have written books on Mangalayan, spaceship, Sunita Williams, space travel. But that is a different world. And
Super.
children are
And
loving
also,
it.
I remember you telling me that there is a challenge in terms of, for better use of better terminology, ergonomics of the whole book in terms of how it is positioned vertically and not really horizontally. So, what was that challenge, and how did you kind of overcome that? And I'm also flashing Ratna Nidhi's website address for collaborations, people who may want to reach out to you, who may want to share your learnings, who may want to volunteer, and so on.
Yeah. See, all the books are vertical. You don't see horizontal. You read your mobile email on mobile vertical. But when do you want to see a movie, YouTube will be horizontal. You go to a movie theater, is horizontal. Then why should a colorful book for a child should be vertical? There is no logic. It is not common sense. So we made a horizontal book, full color, and when the child opens that book, he gets 17 inches of cinema scope.
Can you
He
show
sees.
us that? Show us that book.
Now, this is a book of Sunita Williams. It is horizontal, 8.5 by 5.5 inch. So a girl child opens up that book, she sees the full color picture and she's attracted. Then she reads the story of Sunita Williams below. Then she gets inspired. And this makes a difference. I mean,
And
it
this
is
is
a real.
from your own publishing house. Like I said, that when you faced a challenge, then you kind of overcome this, not just with international collaborations, but also innovative thinkings within the country, and how you, created this
Yes.
entire book series.
I
And I
mean,
also want to touch upon what you do for truck drivers in terms of the corrective glasses and bifocal. So tell us a little bit about that as well.
so we have a project called Vision 1 Million. The aim to manufacture high quality spectacle using SLO Luxottica lenses and donate them free of cost in Maharashtra and Ladakh. So SLO Luxottica is our largest company in spectacle lenses. Crizzle, Verilux, Ray-Ban brands are owned by them. They support us with this project by giving lenses. We do vision screening of truck drivers, BST bus drivers in Bombay, because they are at a place where their lives of thousands of passengers and the people walk the road depends on them. Giving them a good high quality spectacle lenses, prescription spectacle made as per individual prescription of each driver is a job that we do. We
Correct.
did vision screening of 8,000 BST drivers and conductors. We gave 2,000 bifocal lenses with them.
Right.
Last year, this year, we did vision screening of over 200 police drivers in Nasik. The Commissioner of Police Nasik, 85 needed bifocal. So we gave them 85 bifocal. Now we are starting to do vision screening of 10,000 city link bus services of Nasik district, which is government service, and will be give it is a year to 2 long program. Now, if these drivers who cannot definitely afford a SELO lenses, which Titan is selling, can get this type of spectacle, bifocal, free of cost, it makes so much of difference to their lives. But that's what
Super.
we are.
I mean, Sabera recognized you for the 3D printing of prosthetic legs, and here we have जिसको बोलते हैं ना एक पिटारा, भानुमति का पिटारा निकल रहा है जिसके अंदर से इतनी सारी चीजें निकल रही हैं, चाहे वो lenses की हो, चाहे वो Mission Million Books की हो, publishing house की हो. I want to part on a note where I want to understand how your experience of the Sabera Award has been, and we definitely would want you to showcase so much that you're doing since then in the coming edition of the awards.
So I had a wonderful experience. I was not aware of SABERA Award. Somebody just said, Rajiv, why don't you apply? And the link was sent, and we applied. There were so many details we were asking, lot of details. And it took some time to put everything into proper perspective. There were interviews, there were jury members, there were a lot of questions, there were a lot of time. Very rigorous, very grounded, very solid, going into depth of everything, not just what is a Facebook post. I mean, very depth. And then you gave the award is something to be very proud of because the
You were
process
one of
by design is so good.
you were one of our initial few awardees, but what Sabera has actually evolved into is trying to connect the dots between people who have had the learnings. Like you have had immense amount of learnings. I'm sure our ecosystem will value the kind of learnings, the kind of failures that you've had, such that it can accelerate it in the other part of the country beyond Maharashtra or beyond, say, Gujarat. And similarly, I'm sure you are also looking at people to support you, whether it be in the form of volunteers or in the form of CSR
Sure.
funds. So I sincerely hope that I see you through the 2025 edition as well. And thank you so much again for all the work that you're doing. And thank you so much for taking out the time for talking to us today.
Thank you, Suparnaji. Thank you. Good day.